Hey guys, it's Kels back at it again with another video, another Friday night live. I promised you that each and every Friday night I will go live, show my face. So here I go, here I go, here I go, back at it again as promised. It's about 7:30 in the evening right now, and I'm late, but we're here. We're here. And yeah, this is week 39 on our way to week 52. Consistent. So not all the time perfect. You know what I mean? Sometimes a little bit late, sometimes a little bit disoriented, sometimes a little bit discombobulated as I am today. But regardless, we show up. We show up. All right. So yeah, you know the deal. Come on in, come on in, come on in. Let me know what you are sipping on, where you're watching from, and chime in on the chat. Or if you're a part of Replay Gang, drop this emoji in the chat because our Replay Gang is strong around these parts. So even if you're not catching us live, if you catch us on the replay, you want to chime in, leave your comments, let us know what you think. Let us know because we learn from the collective wisdom of the It's Kels community. All of that is all good. So either way, chime in now if you're watching live, and or chime in on the comments if you are catching us on the replay. Tonight I am sipping on just some H2O, some water, lubricating the throat chakra. You guys know the last few weeks I have been sipping on water and just trying to keep my balance, trying to keep my body, trying to keep the metabolism how it need to be. And yeah, but sometimes we sip on a little green tea, sometimes we sip on a little brown, but tonight it's H2O for the dolls. So we are gonna cheers to rest. I feel like I need some rest. I have been spinning all day today. Matter of fact, this week has been a spit, like the week has just spun right from under me. So I'm feeling like some rest, some relaxation, some grounding. I definitely need to do some grounding. So let's cheers to some rest, some relaxation, some grounding, and just, yeah, some chill for this weekend because I definitely need it. Okay. So cheers to that. Clink, clink, clink. Yes. hmm So I have a monitor. I have a big a monitor over here to be able to see. It's the forehead. Let me scooch y'all back a little bit so you're not like right here in my forehead. Uh, um, yeah, cool. I think we're good. So let me make sure the feed is coming in. 1 second. You see the title of tonight's video, Sneaky Things That Stop Your Manifestations, Sneaky Things That Kill Your Creative Process, is what we're going to be talking about for tonight. I'm going to give you a little bit of a background on that. But before we do, first things first, just the energy of this week. As I said, it's just been a little bit like wobbly for me and things have been coming in, and I think I'm just wondering, I'm like, okay, do I need to be prepared for like things to be picking up right now? You guys know I do pay attention to the astrology. Right now we are in the thick of Mercury retrograde, and there are like 6 or 7 planets all retrograding right now, so it's very unstable, wobbly energy, right? And as a Pisces, as a triple water Pisces, I usually that unstable energy is quite fine for me. Like I'm okay, being in the mutable signs and things like that, immutable water, and kind of like ethereal a little bit, like in my daydreams a lot. But for this week, it's really gotten into that. And I feel like it started a little bit last week as well. So if I'm feeling it, who I am used to being in a little bit of a la la land situation, if I'm feeling it, I know you guys who are more like air signs, giving Aquarius, giving Gemini, those of you guys who are more like earth signs, giving Taurus, Libra, and Capricorn. I know you guys are probably like, what the heck is going I know y'all probably is like feeling like you in an earthquake because the ground is just, it's very loosey goosey. I'm feeling like, and I'm like, yo, what is going on? But I mean, it feels like foundations are breaking down for new things to be built up, or whatever the people that are saying. Um, and yeah, so I'm just kind of trying to get my footing today. I had a lot of things happen in the home front, furniture being delivered, and this and that and this and that. And so I think I'm feeling it. I think I'm definitely feeling it this week. All right. So that's kind of what I'm feeling like. And also, I believe it's going to be a new moon in Libra coming up on the 25th. Also, oh, you know what else? You know what else happened this week that I really feel like I'm feeling? This fall equinox on September 22nd, which was yesterday. We crossed over from, we ended summer and went into fall officially based on the kind of distance of the sun from the earth, basically just like the solar system, right? And so we just went through that kind of portal from summer to fall, and I love fall, but I had to be honest with you, the veil, I don't know if you guys know what they say when they say the veil is thin. Like the veil is very thin when it gets to fall, especially when it starts getting down into fall and winter, and you start to be able to, like, I don't know, just things, the air feels different, you know, your sleep patterns get different, your eating, what you want to eat gets different. Like there's just all of these kind of cyclical ritual things that change with you. Like you might wake up certain times, your circadian rhythm might be a little bit different. So your allergies, or you know, what irritates you, which versus what doesn't irritate you, all of those things start to change around this time, right in line with the fall equinox. So I really felt it heavy this year. And I'm just like, oh, that might have been one of the reasons why I'm like, "Oh, why am I in La La Land?" But I definitely feel like I'm in La La Land. Also, for the last couple of weeks, you noticed that I've not been doing the voting. I've been doing just dropping topics and just trying to experiment and see what works on the channel, see what you guys prefer, see what you guys really actually show up for, and just give a little bit of experimentation. One of the gentlemen that I like to watch, a YouTuber guy, he's been mentioning that, you know, during these times, like retrograde times, he likes to experiment and see like what works, what doesn't work, and just try different things on his channel. And so for us, I have been dropping the topics always the Thursday the night before, but I haven't been making it a voting thing. So I don't know. I don't know. It seems like you guys definitely like to chime in. You definitely like to use your voice and you like to vote. But I did it again this week because I wanted just to see what the feedback is. And I'm noticing the lives, during the lives, you guys are like, you know, like, seems like you're more interested in actually voting. But afterwards, the topic seems to pick up a lot of traction in the replays. So we'll see how it goes. We're doing a little bit of an experimentation and just to see how things go. And then we'll take it from there. Yeah. So, but feel free, always slide in my DMs, always leave me a comment. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you're feeling about our topics, what you want to talk about. If there's anything you want me to react to that happens during the week, I'm always here for it. You know, I like to talk. So definitely feel free to chime in. We're learning from the collective wisdom of the It's Kels community around here. So whatever you got to say, let the doll know, and I'll take it into consideration. Okay. So, all right. So let's look at let's look at the topic. Sneaky things that stop your manifestation from coming in. I did drop it a little bit differently on Instagram. I mentioned it last night. I did it a little bit differently. What I called it was, I'll tell you. How you're killing your manifestation process is what I called it on Instagram last night. I said that's what our topic is going to be. And then I kind of elaborated a little bit and I said mysterious things that ruin your manifestation. Excuse me, mysterious things that ruin your manifesting slash creative process. And then I just name drop some of these mysterious things: comparison, judgment, low investment, mixed messages, and doubt. Those were the things that I kind of mentioned as some of the mysterious things that kind of might be slowing down your manifesting. Um, but I feel like there's a little bit more depth to this conversation that I've just kind of been working through this week. And that's one of the reasons why I feel a little bit shaky this week, because I feel like I've been working through quite a lot. And then also, I haven't fully worked through it. So I'm talking about it before I fully finish my process of just working through what I've been thinking about and my kind of things that I'm dealing with this week. So I feel like that's another reason why I'm like a little bit like woppy a little bit, or a little bit like on shaky ground with this topic, because I'm still getting my footing on it. So we're just going to talk about it. I'm going to let you know what it's looking like in my life, and you know where I am with it right now, and at holding space for my perspective to evolve, holding space for you guys to chime in with your perspective, and for us to come to like a different conclusion, just holding space for it to still develop and grow. Because I feel like this particular topic that I want to talk about tonight is still a bit like, I'm going to say nebulous. I'm going to say mutable. I'm going to say changing and evolving and developing and all of that. So, yeah, leaving space for me to talk about where I am with it now and for it to change and bloom and grow and switch up as I continue to work through it. Yeah. Yeah. So, I do have some notes on my phone because what happens throughout the week is like, as I'm like working through my process and thinking of other things, or if I read something, or if I watch something, or if I hear something, or if something comes up as a download or whatever it is, I'll usually write it like in my journal or I write it in my phone just so I can remember, the new like light bulb moment or the new aha moment that has come through. Oh, also, I crossed a really big finish line. Side note, I crossed a really big finish line on a project that I had been working on for years this week. And I'm definitely going to let you guys know. I'm going to do a full rollout for it. You guys are going to be so proud, especially you guys who are on this channel from when we start from the travel era that we are still in. If you are here from that travel era of the Iskels, London, overseas, Dubai, all these places era, you're going to love the new project that I just finished. But we're going to now start doing the rollout of it. So you will definitely hear about it. But I crossed that finish line this week as well. And I feel like that might be another reason why I'm a little bit like airy fairy right now. Because I'm just like, whoa, I am in the clouds. Like, what is going on? Okay. So yeah, that's another thing of like in addition to the fall equinox, in addition to I think the new moon in Libra coming up on September 25th, in addition to the retrograde of all these six planets, in especially Mercury retro, it's just a lot happening. It's a lot going on right now. I feel like. So let me know. You guys know the deal. Come on in, come on in. Let me know in the comments where you're watching from, what you are sipping on, and how your week has been. Like, have you guys been feeling like a little bit like weird this week? Like, am I the only one? Don't leave the dog out here by myself. Like, how have you been feeling? Okay. So while you guys get up the courage to chime in the comments, let me tell you a little bit about the topic for tonight and what I'm thinking about and like where I am with it. Yeah. Okay. So it's two areas that I'm gonna go for. I am gonna go for up here. Okay. So I have the topic as sneaky things that stop your manifestations. But what that really looked like for me was um this week is when I say sneaky things that stop your manifestations, what do we mean by manifesting? Manifesting is like calling things into form, calling things into your life, going after your goals, creating, alchemizing, raising your goals, taking your goals from the idea form, from the seed form, and letting them actually blossom, nurturing them to the point where they actually blossom and bloom into your life and manifest into form. You know what I mean? And so that usually looks like having a specific goal and trying to go after it, whether it be a fitness goal or a career goal, an education goal, a financial goal, a love goal, a personal goal, a spiritual goal, a self-development goal. All of these things are things that you could potentially be manifesting, trying to manifest in your life, trying to call from the spiritual, from an idea form, into the material. You know what I mean? So now it's not just a vision or a daydream or a wish or a hope or a desire. It's now present in your life. It is now manifested into form in your life. There is now sixth sense evidence of it. So before, the evidence of it just might have been your idea or your inspiration. It's more in the a non-material form. But then when it's manifested, when we say manifest, it's come into the material form. So now you can actually see it, taste it, touch it, hear it, feel it, all of those things with our six senses, right? So that's what we mean by manifestations. And then what we say when we're talking about sneaky things that stop your manifestation, there's some things that think about the manifestations or the things that you want in your life that have been a long time coming. I don't know if you ever noticed that there's certain things that come easy. Like there's certain things in your life that you could think and you say, "Oh, I really would like that." And the next week, all of a sudden it's in your life. It's available to you. Like it's coming to it's manifested, right? And you're like, "Dang, that was easy. Oh my God, I just said I wanted some flowers and all of a sudden, somebody delivered flowers to my house, or my husband sent me flowers. Like, oh my God, I just said I wanted flowers, or I just said I really love those yellow flowers, and all of a sudden here they are. I love those roses and here they are. Those things are kind of easy. You'll notice there'll be like things like that manifest relatively easy in your life. But then there are the things that are like that might be, and speaking for myself, they might be your deepest desire, something that you've wanted, or you felt like you wanted for a long time. You're like, yo, what do I have to do to get this thing to actually materialize? How do I align with this thing so that we are in vibrational resonance, so that it actually magnetizes to me, that I actually attract it? The reason why I'm saying it that way is because, if you're thinking about it in terms of law of attraction, and I know a lot of people on my channel, kind of are starting to dibble and dabble into law of attraction, or to understand what it's talking about. And so if you I'm speaking about it in that way of not like creating it with my hands, but actually becoming this a similar or a reciprocal vibration so that it's magnetized to me. That's how you attract. That's what law of attraction is talking about. It's not that you force your way into your goal. You align with it vibrationally so that it has no other choice but to magnetize to you, be attracted to you. You know what I mean? So there's certain things that you can easily attract into your life, certain things that can manifest easily. And then it be stuff that be so hard to manifest and to attract into your life. And a friend of mine, a friend and mine, when we talk about it, we usually talk about it in terms of low hanging fruit versus high hanging fruit, things at the top of the tree, the things that you have to keep working on, keep working on, keep working on to align to magnetize in your life. And so some people's, for instance, let's talk about love, right? For some people, love and marriage and relationships, if you want those things, they're on the low part of the tree. So it was easy for them to get to it in their life, in their path, in their journey, right? Of life, in their goal setting and things that they wanted to accomplish in their life, or things that just came into their path as they were going along in their life. And it'd be like the first thing that comes into them is marriage, love, children, right at the bottom of the tree. And then for them, potentially the things that are at the top of the tree, or the things that are further along in the journey, or requires much more self-evolution of them in the journey, that might be career, it might be money, it might be body, maybe something, having to do with your fitness or your health or something like that. And so those things are further along in the journey for them. So it requires much more cultivating of whatever's necessary to get those things, to be able to manifest those things. And then for some people, it's the other way around. Some people, it would be easy to have the body, it'd be easy to have the career, it'd be easy to have the money, it'd be easy to have the friends, or whatever they want. But then love is down the path. Being able to get pregnant and have a baby is a way down the path, or high on the tree, high hanging fruit. Or it might be it might be what are other things that people are always like seeking? A relationship with their parents or something like that, or with their family, that might be harder for them to have. So it's like all of these things that we generally kind of want, all of these things that we try to manifest, or all these goals that we want in our lives, depending on who you are, depending on the individual, it could come easy for you, or it could come hard for you. You know what I mean? Certain things are early in the path or low on the tree, and certain things are like, damn, what do I have to do to get this? Way down the path, so much hoops you got to jump through. Feels like hoops, so much things you have to do, to try to get it. And, and for somebody else is vice versa. You know what I mean? And so that's what we're talking about when we're saying manifesting, you know what I mean? And those types of things that might be, sneaky things that stop or slow down your manifesting. And so that's what there was something that I was doing this week that I recognized as, oh, I think that's slowing down my manifestation. And so that's kind of what I wanted. So that's the kind of background on tonight's topic, is like being able to identify the thing that you're doing that's actually slowing down your goal from coming in, or your deepest desire from actually, showing up for you, or being able to see it and recognize it when it's present. Right. And so that's kind of the background on tonight's topic. Um, I do have some, like, I did write down, there's some, these notes are like actually from some, a little bit while ago, because I feel like I've been working on this for a while. And then all of a sudden, it's come up again. The first thing that I kind of want to talk about, um, hey sis, thank you for being here, lovey. Love you. All right. So, love you, sis. Um, I think one of the first things, and speaking of, this is not on my list, but I'm going to talk about it first, just because my sis is here, and she definitely called me out for this. Okay, I think one of the first things that we want to talk about when we say sneaky things that stop your manifestation is trying too hard. Trying too hard. Um, Creating resistance. One of the main things that they talk about when they're saying, when you see what you want not actually coming in, one of the main things that people talk about a lot, or the gurus and all the people talk about, is resistance. Resistance. What do we mean by resistance? It's like um almost like a feeling or an emotion that you put up that blocks what you want from coming in, because instead of you being almost like welcoming and open to what you want, there's something that you're doing that's creating resistance, so what you want can't come in, or for some reason you can't recognize it. And I think one of the most sneaky ways that happens is if you're trying too hard, if you're doing too much, if you're not being easy about it. There is some balance, and I'm working on this personally. There's some balance that you have to strike, it seems. There's a sweet spot, it seems. And again, this is not for the things that come in easy, because as I said at the top of the broadcast, some of stuff for us is low hanging fruit, and some stuff is high hanging fruit. Some stuff is early on your journey, and some stuff is down the football field on your journey. You know what I mean? So you'll know what it is in your own life. And what it is for me is not what it is for you. And what is it for you is not what it is for her. And what it is for her is not what it is for him. And what it is for him is not what it is for they. Everybody's manifestations or goals or desires on their life path, in their process, are different. So I think one of the main things for those things that seem to be far away, that are hard to get, is this idea that you're trying too hard. And this is a really tough pill for me to swallow, because I'm always just used to being a little bit of a go-getter, going after what I want, and like trying to, use passion and energy and vitality and um, intellect to go after what I want and get it. You know what I mean? And that typically works. But what I'm identifying and what I'm understanding on the journey is that some things take a little bit more nuance to it, particularly the things that are farther down, the high hanging fruit. So the same way you are, or the same behaviors that you exhibit to get the low hanging fruit, to get the things that are easy on your journey, it's not looking like that's the same things you need to do to get the high hanging fruit later down in the path, or the high hanging fruit. So I'm like, ooh, okay, so that trying hard, that going for it thing that would have worked earlier, doesn't necessarily work for every single thing. There's nuance to it. There's like some character development, there's some spiritual growth that needs to happen for you to actually align with the things that are the high hanging fruit, the things that are a little bit further down your life journey, the things that are calling you into the unknown. You know what I mean? Calling you, pulling you further along into your journey of life and into your development. I feel like a lot of times these things be the things that you want the most, because that deep desire is the only thing that would keep you ascending, keep you developing, keep you learning, keep you striving, keep you trying. Imagine if it was something that you ain't really want. If it was something that you ain't really want, that you couldn't get, you would just stop. You would be like, all right, F it, and do something else, right? So there would be no, there's no really incentive for you to keep developing, keep going, keep growing, keep striving. So it's usually something that you really, 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 really want. That's all the way down the 50-yard, 100-yard line. And that forces you to like, oh God, what should I do now? All right, so do I need to study more? Do I need to, uh, do better makeup? Do I need to be richer? Do I need to be skinnier? Do I need to be thicker? Do I need to get these people? Yeah, do I need to get a BBL? Do I need to buy a better car? Do I need to live a better place? Like there's all these things that you try to strive and gain to get that thing that your deep desire that's hard to get. So it's kind of like breadcrumbs a little bit. It's kind of feeling like a little bit of breadcrumbs to keep you moving on your development path in life, to keep you in the process, to keep you in your process. Does that make sense? That's what it's feeling like. That's what it's feeling like to me. Yeah. What's Anna saying? Anna saying deeper desires need further lessons along the way, maybe, in order for you to be ready for the real deal. Exactly. That's exactly how I'm feeling. That's exactly how I'm feeling. Sister saying, I don't know. I'm in the same boat. The same boat. And I'm just like, okay, how do you strike the balance between not trying too hard for those deep desires? Because I feel like that trying too hard creates too much resistance, and then it blocks it from coming in easily. And then so you're between a rock and a hard place of like, okay, don't try too hard, right? Don't want it so much that it hurts, right? Because that's actually keeping it from coming. But then how do you still keep putting one foot in front of the other, with this optimism or with this faith that is actually going to come in for you? You know what I mean? And so it just is like, whoo, what is that? How do I get to that nice, even space of, I want this. I'm okay. I'm whole without it. I'm whole. I'm good. I want this. I have faith that it's coming in, but I'm not killing it with my want energy, or my like, nah, why don't I have it energy? like, how do you, I feel like there's a balance that needs to be struck there. And that's a lot of what I am trying to work through this week. It's like, all right, how do I hold that place of soothing? How do I soothe myself along this process? How do I soothe myself in the journey? Right. And how do I love that process and love the journey? Here's the part that I recognize that um I may have been a little bit messing myself up. um I feel like for me, I was a little bit annoyed with the process that it's taking. So with the low hanging fruit, your process might be easy because you might do one, two thing and it come and here it is. And you're like, oh, perfect. I did one, two thing, or you did what people told you should do and you got it. You know what I mean? Oh, they told me to go to college and then you'll have a good job. And so I went to college and then I have a good job. So, okay, well, that was easy. You know what I mean? But then what if your career is your high hanging fruit and you did what people said? You went to college and you still have a crap career, or you still hate your career, or you still not making any money in your career, and you're like, damn, what else do I need to do? I did what they said. Like, what's the problem? You know what I mean? And so the process of actually the unfolding, the process of you getting what you want, for me, I felt like I was resentful of it, because the process to me now, I was started to judge my process. I started to judge my own process. You know what I mean? Sometimes you'll start to compare your process to other people's process. You'll start to judge it. You'll start to doubt it. You'll start to be resentful of your own process. And for me, I was like, oh my God, I think I have a problem with, like, I'm mad at this process. I'm mad of all the hoops. Look, even me calling it hoops, I'm mad about all the things that I need to do, all the spiritual growth, all the changing, all this changing my perspectives, all the leaving behind fears, all the getting the courage, all the things that I need to do to get towards my goal, I'm not doing it with joy. I'm doing it with like, oh my God, what else? Or when else? Or what else is necessary? Or like, damn, when is this coming in? Or I'm being shook by like, is this like, what am I not doing wrong? What am right? What am I not doing right? Like doubt. So the process of your thing coming in, it could be very well coming in. It's just not on the 10-yard line or the 50-yard line. It's on the whatever 90-yard line. I hope y'all understand my analogy, right? And so you're on route to it. Yours is just a little bit farther away. Some people's is closer, some people's is far. Some people money is up front and they love life is down the back. Some people's love life is up front and they money is down the back. You know what I mean? Some people's health is good, and then it declines, and some people's health is bad, starts out, and then it gets better as they go. So you're on the way. It's on the path. It's how do you keep the perspective that it's coming for you? Have faith that it's there for you, but that your process is your own, and that you need to be in love with your process. You need to acknowledge that your process is what differentiates you from anybody else. Your process is an individual. It's an individual journey. That's what makes you who you are. Your process. None of us, not even twins, not even conjoined Siamese, joined twins, whatever. Excuse me if I'm being insensitive. Not even, twins, identical twins have the same process and the same journey. What makes you, and this is me coaching myself a little bit here, what makes you an individual, what makes your life is your process. So you have to be in love with your process. You have to respect your process. You have to value your process. You have to see the lessons and the growth and the joy and the bliss and the thrill in your process, instead of being mad at your process, getting shaky and doubtful because your process is taking longer than you think it should take, based on what you see Kim Kardashian them process look like, or what you see your neighbors them process look like, or what you see the people on IG process look like. So you're there dead comparing your very individual, unique, special process that makes you you to somebody else's process that makes them then, and getting mad at your process, getting doubtful, because your process is not going the way you think it should go, as opposed to being in love with it and respecting your process for what it is and how it makes your life your life. This is what I've been working on this week. You know what I mean? And so that's why the name of this is sneaky things that stop your manifestations, sneaky things that stop your creative process. Because this process that we're talking about, this process that I'm saying, this path that we're talking about, these fruits that we're trying to reach for, what we're talking about here this is manifestation. This is creation. This is creating. You don't set a goal and then just get it. You're creating, you are creating. You're taking what you want, your goal, from the idea of it, the vision of it, and bringing it into form so that you attain it. It is a process of creating. Attaining your goals is a process of creating. So that process is an individual process. It is your own magic. So you can take cues from other people. You can take cues from other people of like, how did you become a billionaire? Oh, how did you create $1 billion? How did you create the energetic atmosphere for $1 billion to be magnetized and attracted to you? How did you create that? Is what you're asking them. But guess what? You are not going to be able to create the same $1 billion that Diddy did, or that Jay-Z did, or that Beyonce did, or that Oprah did, or that supposedly Kanye did, or that Rihanna did. You're not going to be able to use their same formula or use their same magic, because you have your own magic. You have your own process, and there are fundamentals that you can bring in and that you can use. There are fundamentals, certain fundamentals that you can say, oh, you know what? I like that system that they built, or like, I like that ritual that they did, or I like that their daily practices, or I like how they thought about that, or I like the strategy that they use there. But at the end of the day, your formula, your magic, your alchemical process, your process of creating is your own. Then you must be in love with that process. You cannot resent that process and think that you're going to attain your goal. Come on. Come on. Mm. Cheers. Clink, clink, clink. So that's what I've been working on this week. Not being resentful of my process and seeing my process as my magic, seeing my process as my power, seeing my process as my gift. You know what I mean? And being in love with my process. Being in love with my process, not comparing my process to anybody else, not doubting myself in my process, not worry about how long my process take, being certain that it's going to come in regardless, being certain that I am guided, I'm supported in my process, and that it must come. You know what I mean? And being happy doing the whatever I need to do. What else? Whatever. What's the new idea? What's the new idea that I should do now to try to get towards my goal? What's the new idea that I should do now to get towards my manifestation? You know what I mean? Instead of letting these sneaky little pervasive doubts and comparison and judging myself, not even judgments from other people, judging myself, all these little pervasive, sneaky things that slow your bag, that stop your bag, you know what I mean, from coming in, that you perpetrate against yourself. You know what I mean? That's what I've been working on this week. And so when you see the title, Sticky Things That Stop Your Manifestation, that's what, look, I've been trying to figure out, like, what is, oh, shoot, I'm judging my process. I'm resentful of my process. I'm mad at this process. Instead of seeing my process as my secret sauce. My process is my secret sauce. It's so special. It is only individual to me. I am the only person on the face of this earth whoever has been or whoever will be that will have this process. That's how much of a rare gem it is. And respect it as such, honor it as such. You know what I mean? And so that's something that I'm like, oh, I think let me introduce that into what I'm doing and how I think about things and how I'm elevating my perspective on getting towards my goals. You know what I mean? Not trying so hard like we would have done in the past and grinding so hard, but becoming, vibrational resonance with it and being in appreciation for what it is, what it's teaching me. Because that being that in that appreciation, the energy of appreciation is one of the things that they say allows your manifestations to come in, allows your goals to magnetize to you, allows you to recognize your goals when they are presented to you, that when they come into your field. You know what I mean? And so that whole being in love with my process, being in love with my life. Your process is your life. Your life is your process. So self-love, being in love with yourself, is being in love with your individual unique process. And that's kind of what I've been working on this week, and not comparing your process to anybody else's, not judging your process, being in love with your process, whether it's a low-hanging fruit and it comes to you easy, or if it's down the football field and you have to figure out a little bit of something to do it with joy. Figure it out with joy so that you're not inadvertently blocking your manifestation from coming in because you're doing it with resentment in your heart, or you're doing it with like doubt, scared, fear, upsetness. Let all that go is what I've been working on. You know what I mean? Clink, 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 clink. So sneaky things that might be stopping your bag, sneaky things that might be stopping your manifestations from coming in is what we're talking about. What else? We talked about comparison. We talked about judgment. We talked about doubt. Okay. Two other things that I had on the list: low investment in cultivating your manifestation from coming in, and sending mixed messages. And I feel like doubt is a part of sending those mixed messages. I think low investment is the tricky one that I was talking about earlier, where you want to really you really want to be clear about what you want, but you don't want to be trying too hard. This is the part that I'm still learning. This is the part that I'm still trying to figure out within myself, is how do I hold position in place? How do I hold with certainty and with faith that what I want is coming in for me? But how do I do that without trying too hard? How do I do that and still live my life? Still live. You know what I mean? How do I do that without blocking it inadvertently or blocking it sneakily because I'm putting up too much resistance in what I'm trying to bring in. I'm still working on that, but still having investment. Some of the notes that I have around that is um one of the things that I wrote down in my phone, because one of the ladies that I watch, she says, how you might be blocking your manifestation. She said, we think the second we conceive it, the second you think about it, the second the seed, the idea, the inspiration comes into your mind, the universe or God or the divine or high, whatever, the universe is supposed to respond. But it's not just the idea of something, it's how you energetically serve it. It's not just the idea, it's how you energetically serve it, how you energetically prepare for it to come in, prepare the vibrational atmosphere for it to come in, right? What are we talking about there? It's your passion. It's your passion for it. It's your tending to it. It's your investment in it. It's setting the vibrational atmosphere. These are my notes. It's cultivating the good soil. I like to use the analogy of blooming things and growing things and creating as a seed in soil. When you have that seed of an idea, or when you have a seed and you put it in a pot of soil for it to take root, it don't bloom up the next day. In fact, it could be weeks before you see anything above soil with your sight. But it doesn't mean that things are not happening, because actually it's rooting down into the earth, right? So if you think of your goals or your manifestation similarly, you might have the seed of idea for something, but you must cultivate it. You must nurture it. You must pour into it and put some investment in it. And even while you're doing that, with the faith, knowing that it's rooting down, even though you don't see no roots. You might not see the roots, but you have to know that your cultivation of the idea is creating roots. I love looking at manifesting and creating and going after your goals as comparing it, like making a comparison to planting seeds and nature, basically looking at nature as evidence of how we do things here on earth. You know what I mean? How do we do things? We'll do it like how you see nature doing it, replicate that, right? So cultivating the good soil of the idea. It don't just happen right away. You have to cultivate, you have to pour into it, you have to invest. And then she says here, so that the universe can answer us, the spark that makes the universe respond to you. So the momentum picks up as you cultivate, as you continue to invest in it, right? Of the thing growing. And then all of a sudden it will come out through the soil. You know what I mean? You'll see evidence of your goal coming in or your manifestation coming in. You know what I mean? So I always think about it like that too. And then she talks about investment. So this is, I think, the part where I was talking about, like, where I was like, how do you invest without trying too hard? Like, how do you get this to go for you without trying too hard? And what she said was, investment is joy cultivated around it. So it's not the judging the process, it's not the harshness, it's not the doubt, it's not the comparison, it's not the fear that is not coming in. It is the joy. It is the joy, it's the anticipation, it's the expectation happily, it's the position in place, it's the knowing that it's coming, particularly the joy cultivated around it, the excitement for it, the preparation for it, the prayer about it, the singing about it, the envisioning about it, deciding what it should feel like, the clarity about it is what is the investment. So I think, okay, so I think that's helpful for me. That's definitely helpful for me. Because I'm like, how do you invest in something without doing too much? You know what I mean? And it's like, oh, it's the joy around it, not just not worry, not the need or not the worry. As I understand it, the universe doesn't respond to need and worry. The universe responds to joy, you know what I mean, and higher vibration. So it's like, okay, I think that's a note to myself, because I told y'all at the top of this broadcast, I'm working on this myself this week. So so we just gonna have to learn together on this, you know what I mean? So okay, so I get that. Okay. And then I have here notes risk. And I think this is where it gets, oh, you like that? Yeah, Anna. Anna says, oh, I like that. Yes. I'm like, I've been taking notes, seeing 444 on the clock if you're into numbers like I am. Um, I've been working on this week and I really liked that piece about it. I really liked that piece about it, the joy, cultivating the joy around it. And then one thing that she says is a big risk. And again, sneaky things that you might be doing that's stopping your manifestations, sneaky things that might be happening that's stopping your bag, is uncertainty about your investment paying off. So that vibration, that energy of uncertainty, that energy of doubt. You guys know we have a live on this channel talking about doubt. And I've been working on this for a long time personally, you know what I mean? And so the risk is the uncertainty about your investment paying off, uncertainty about the seed that you planted, that you've been cultivating, actually bringing up fruit, or bringing up greens and leaves, you know? So they were talking about being careful of that energy of uncertainty about your investment paying off. She says here, you may be accidentally introducing a lot of doubt and skepticism when you think about it. You might be accidentally introducing a lot of doubt and skepticism when you're thinking about it. In which case, you'll have to work on the mindset that's getting in the way, that mindset of doubt, that mindset of skepticism, that mindset of uncertainty. All of that are sneaky ways you might be stopping your own bag. You might be stopping your own bag. For me personally, it was being a little bit resentful of my process, stopping my own bag. You know what I mean? And so I recognized this week, and thank God for the recognition. You know what I mean? Because once you recognize it, you can at least you have the choice to make a difference, to make a change, to change that. You know what I mean? So not too mad at myself. It was a day that I was like, damn, I was shooting myself in the foot. You know what I mean? And so there was a day that I was like, oh my God, what I've been doing, when I recognized that's truly what I have been doing. But then after that, I was like, you know what? Thank you for that revelation. Thank you for that realization. Thank you for that aha moment, because now I have the opportunity to make a different choice and to think about it differently, little by little, day by day, changing the way I think about my process for my high hanging fruit, my process for my creations that are way down the football field. You know what I mean? Thinking about it with more joy and certainty, and joy in the cultivating of the soil for my manifestation to come in, for me to reach my goal, for my creation to come into form. Yeah. All right. She says here, you have to work on the mindset around that. She says, this is where, okay, so this is the other sneaky thing, mixed signals, mixed messages. She says the universe may be getting mixed signals from you if you can't get happy and inspired and joyful about your goal, about your idea, right? Before you get disappointed that it's not showing up, turn around and examine how you're relating to your own vision and your own passion, and clear out anything that may be getting in the way. Clear out anything that may be getting in the way. Look at your relationship to your vision, to your want. Before you get disappointed that it's not showing up, turn around and examine how you're relating to your vision, to your goal, to your desire, to your own passion, and clear out anything that may be getting in the way. Clear out anything that may be blocking you from fully committing. Woo! Fully committing energetically to the joy of the vision that's come up for you. So she didn't say joy of the thing, she said joy of the vision. That's interesting. Clear out anything that may be blocking you from fully committing energetically to the joy of the vision that's come up for you. Also consider the soil from which the decision was made. Was this made from a true and genuine joyful place? Or are you waiting? Are you wanting this from a place that's not genuinely authentic to you and your true desire? So basically, it's something that you see other people have that you think you should want to. So you want it, but it's not coming. But the reason why it's not coming is because you don't really want it. That's what them people showed on TV that told you you should want, but you genuinely don't want it. And that's something that you kind of have to figure out on your own. That happened to me when I was trying to figure out. I wanted to get my master's. I wanted to go back to school because for me, school is always the place where I can do whatever the F I want. If I want to do black and white photography, if I want to produce a stage play, if I want to do creative writing, if I want to take an acting class, if I want to have a radio show, if I want to have a YouTube channel, if I want to travel the world, school has always been the way that I've been able to reach for my wildest dreams and my greatest desires. So I wanted to go and keep going in school. I wanted to get my master's. And everybody said, Kels, you're smart. You're smart. You should go to Ivy League. You should go to this school, that school, this school, that school. And I was like, okay, tried, did not get into now one Ivy League school that I wanted to go to. Not now one. And when I tell you, devastating. I was like, yo, what? I always get since I don't get what I want. I gotta be candid with y'all. Since I don't get what I want, like, how could I not be getting into where I want to get into? Like, yes, I should be Ivy League. I'm smart, right? After I finished not getting into anywhere good, domestically, I sat down and I said, it dawned on me. What do I really want? What do I really want? I didn't want to go to no Ivy League school. I wanted to travel. I wanted to travel. And so I said, oh, well, maybe I could figure out a way to travel and go to school. Because I still wanted to go to school. Like I always really liked school. As I said, I could get to do whatever I wanted there. You know, I could be a big kid, basically. And when I tried to put the two together, like, okay, I do want to go to school, but can I travel too? Every door opened because it was what I wanted to do, not what everybody else said I should do. Every door opened when I truly started to pursue what I wanted, not what the people them said I should want, not what the people them said I would be good at, what I wanted. Every door opened. So when she says here, evaluate the place from which the desire is coming. You know what I mean? Make sure it's from a true and genuine and a joyful place, and that you're wanting it from, and that it's genuinely authentic to you and your true self and desires. I feel that in my soul. I feel that in my soul because I've been there trying to pursue something that people said I should pursue, and it flopped. Shockingly. And then stopping in my path and said, wait, what do I really want? And then going after that and it being smooth sailing from there. Stop doing what people want me to do and do what the hell I want to do. Got it. And even when I learned that the first round, it still, it came up in my life again and again and again and again and again. And I still had to keep learning that same lesson again and again and again. To this very day, there's things in my life that I'm like, I don't really want to do that, but should I or shouldn't I? Or I don't want to do that, but should I? And just still following somebody else's path on certain things, right? And so even though I want to take this moment, like even though I talk very passionately on this channel and I'm sharing my perspective, if something doesn't resonate, if something I say doesn't resonate as true to you, then follow your truth. Don't just follow somebody who's running off their mouth like I'm doing. You know what I mean? Make sure that you ground everything that's said into you, into your body, into your truth. Yeah. Yeah. Anna's saying, yeah, God's plan, 100%. You know what I mean? From my heart, not from my head, not from what people said, not from what I saw on TV, not from, what I saw my friend, my brother doing, and sibling rivalry. So I got to one up him, or I see my bestie doing that and she can't be better than me. So I'm going to try to one up her. None of that. From what my heart said I wanted. And then every door opened. Pretty much smooth sailing from then. That was my experience that I'm sharing with you guys, just in case you can identify a similar narrative in your own life. Yeah. And that's kind of what we're saying here. Sneaky things that you may be doing that's blocking your bag, that's blocking your creation process, that's blocking your manifestations from coming in, that's blocking your goals, your attainment. Yeah. All right. So what else does she say here in my notes? So then she talked a little bit here about more concerned about avoiding judgment than about actually cultivating your heart's truest desires. More concerned about avoiding judgment of others and yourself than about actually cultivating your heart's truest desires. Let your heart plant the seed, not your mind. This is starting to get my notes now. Let your heart plant the seed. Let your heart plant the seed, not your mind. Because a lot of times your mind be planting them judgment seeds, them fear-based seeds, them doubt-based seeds, them uncertainty seeds. Man, enough of that. Now we have to plant those seeds of joy and those seeds of bliss. You know what I mean? So those can cultivate and rise up out of the soil. Things that might be introducing sneaky things that are stopping your bag, stopping your manifestation: fear, self-doubt, feeling undeserving, being unclear, not believing that you can get exactly what you want. Even in the past that you haven't gotten exactly what you want. Even if you've tried the same exact thing in the past and it haven't, still switching up or growing your process and trying again. Aligning with yourself and making sure you're doing it from a true space and trying it again. You know what I mean? Right. Knowing what you don't want more clearly than knowing what you do want. Okay, that's another way that you might be blocking your manifestation. Feeling unsupported blocks you, and then things that block you from committing fully energetically, feeling unsupported. Okay. The one here, more clearly knowing what you don't want than knowing what you do want. That one's a sneaky one too. A lot of times when people talk about when you ask someone, well, what do you want? What do you want here? What would be a good solution for you? What would make you feel good? They'll tell you what they don't want. They have people typically, and self included, will typically have a clearer perspective of what they don't want than a crystal clear perspective of what they do want. So they're thinking that they're trying to manifest, or they're thinking they're trying to step towards a goal, or they're thinking they're trying to create, but you're not, because what you're creating is the opposite, because what's more clear to you is what you don't want instead of what you do want. So that one is sneaky, boy. That one is sneaky. Because people really be thinking, I want money. Why can't I have money? Whole time it's fear of poverty that's driving them. That was me. That was me. But somehow my vibration was okay enough for the money to come in. You know what I mean? But like a lot of people thinking that they're trying to get a goal, but really they're amplifying the opposite of the goal, because they're more clear on that part than they are about what it would feel like to have what they want, the vision of it. So anyway, that's what else do I have? Right. Though that's pretty much like what I was thinking about and what I have been working on this week. And so much of just being in love with my own personal process of creating and seeing it for the magic that it is, seeing it for the special and unique thing that it is, and how it should be honored for that place, instead of being upset with it or disappointed with it or fearful that it's not actually going to come in because it's taken too long, or all of these things. Being in love with my own personal process of creating. You know what I mean? And so we talked about here these sneaky things that might be stopping your manifestation, stopping your bag, slowing your creation process down, slowing your goal attainment down. And for me this week, it was judging my process as taking too long, asking too much. You know what I mean? Jumping through too many hoops. And I really had to catch myself on that and figure out, how do I switch that perspective so that I am honoring my process and finding joy in my process and appreciation of my process, and recognizing how much support I have in this development process. Ultimately, it is asking me, these breadcrumbs are asking me to grow, 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 grow. You know what I mean? And am I willing to go on that adventure? Am I willing to go on that adventure? Am I willing to step out into the unknown in pursuit of my desire? We talked about stepping out into the unknown a couple weeks ago on our Friday night kickbacks. If you missed that one, definitely jump into the playlist and look at that. Stepping out into the unknown. Am I willing? Do I have the courage? Do I have the courage? Do I have the strength? Do I have the vitality? Do I have the determination? Do I have the excitement? Do I have the joy to do that? Still working on balancing it with not doing too much, with living my life, with not creating resistance because I'm like striving too much. It's a delicate balance, I feel like. And personally, I'm still working on it. I'm still working on it. So if you have any tips, we learn from the collective wisdom of the It's Kels community around this part. So please let the doll know. Chime in. You know what I mean? Let me know if y'all picking up what I'm throwing down on this live, if you're understanding what I'm talking about, if you're feeling it in some aspect of your life. And if you come up with how, to work through this, then definitely share it with the community. Definitely share it with the collective. Yeah. Yes. And I'm saying, yes, pray not to sabotage myself and miss that magic, right? Yeah, I don't want to miss the magic. Yeah. And it's saying, thank you. I really needed to hear this. Oh, thank you, sis. I appreciate you being here. This was what I haven't been doing the voting on the Friday night kickbacks because the last couple of weeks, one, I'm trying something different. Where Mercury retrograde, a lot of planets are in retrograde right now. So right now is a good time, I'm understanding, for experimentation. So I've been experimenting a little bit with the topics and how we run our Friday night kickbacks. So that's one of the reasons why I haven't been dropping the voting. But another piece is that I said, let me also lean into talking about things that are highly applicable to what I'm working on this week. And see if, it hits a little bit different with the collective. You know what I mean? And so this is what so the last week, what we talked about, I have been working on that week. And then this week, what we talking about, sneaky things that you might be doing to block your bag, that blocks your manifestations from coming in. I have been working on it personally this week. And so I said at the top of the broadcast, I'm a little bit wishy-washy on this because it's not something that I'm 100% confident in. It's something that I'm actually actively working out, like presently. You know what I mean? And so I'm holding space. I'm asking for you guys to hold space for perspective to change on this, for things to develop, for things that are said now not to be fully applicable in 2 weeks, because it might be a whole another eureka, oh shoot, oh aha moment that comes out of it, and things change a little bit, because this is something that I'm actively working on right now. And this week has been like wobbly, lots of highs on this week, goals that have been in motion since 2017, 2016, finally coming, finally making it to the light of day, finally bursting through the soil, this week. So lots to celebrate, but also just felt a little bit like wobbly, you know what I mean? A little bit wobbly this week. So with that being said, I do these videos so you're not out here alone in this sometimes crazy dating, living, loving, leveling up, ascending world. If this is your first time here, I'd love to have you subscribe. Smash, smash, smash that like button. And if you're a part of the replay gang, drop this emoji in the chat, and let us know your thought. And if you're oldie but a goodie, if you're a new person here, love to have you stick around and support the thing. We go live each and every Friday night. This is week 39. Next week we are on to week 40 on our way to 52 weeks consistent showing up for the collective as we promised. So with that being said, hopefully some gems was dropped tonight and you guys really felt what we were talking about. Absolutely leave your comments, leave your thoughts. Want to learn from the collective wisdom of the It's Kels community. And with that, collective, I wish you guys an amazing new moon in Libra fall equinox weekend. Bye, guys. Bye, sis.